What type of investment takes you 15 years just to get your money back? You're not even positive. You're just not negative. Look, the way you start your solar appointment sets the tone for the entire appointment. And if you do this wrong, you're fighting an uphill battle that doesn't need to be there. So listen, when you walk into this appointment, you're going to take the lead, confident, composed. You lead with clarity and conviction and comfort. You don't even have to think about it because you do this so often. At least that's the impression that you give because you do this all the time. All the time, every single day. It's totally normal for you to walk. They open the door, you walk right into their house. You go straight to the kitchen table. You invite them to sit at their table if they need some prompting. They sit before you do. And you sit in a place at the table, right? You get to the table. Because if you don't get to the table, the chances of you locking this one down decrease significantly. Have I signed deals standing up in the backyard in the planter bed? Yeah. But is it the norm? And do most of those deals not go through? Yeah. And if they're being wishy-washy, if they're like, oh, like we can kind of stand here on my front porch and like, don't be afraid to be the authority and say, look, this is how we do things. It's totally normal. If you don't have time now, it's okay. We can schedule it for a time when you do, but I'm going to need your full attention for 20 to 30 minutes so that you can focus on doing this with me and I can find out about your situation and we can really see if this is something that'll help. And if you're confident and authoritative, people follow your lead. So be the authority. You can still be respectful. It doesn't mean you have to be a douchebag, but be the authority. I sit down at the table, I ask them for a pen and paper, ask them to pull out their Edison account, and I tell them exactly how this is going to go. I tell them, yeah, I'm going to find out about your situation, see if this is something that could possibly help you. And then I can explain a little bit more about the details. There are different ways to set it up. So I'm going to need to know a little more about your situation before I know what options to even consider. Creating this context for your conversation. Also, yeah, we go into the connecting phase of the NEPQ process. That's this next video. But I found with solar, creating some context, there's so much, especially in California, there's so much, solar's so present everywhere. Everywhere anyone looks, there's solar, right? Like either solar on a house, solar marketing, solar ads, like it's endless. The amount of solar dudes knocking on their door 3 times a week. So recapping the pitch saying, hey, this is what I do, right? There's the way I'll say this. I'll say, look, in the past, you had to buy solar. Like you either buy your power from Edison or you buy solar and you're kind of stuck, like, because both are expensive. Now there's an option. I can't do it for every home, but essentially instead of buying solar equipment, you can just buy your power from a solar company. Now, I'm not saying that that's the best option for you. There are different solar options and different ways we can set it up, but I want to know more about your situation. Tell me about your experience with solar. Do you know anyone who's gone solar? Have you ever sat with a solar guy before? Why haven't you gone solar in the past? Tell me more about like your understanding of solar. And that will lead that conversation right there, like asking them to give me their current understanding and context of solar. That leads into this overview of solar options where I'll explain basically, let's talk about cash. That's the first thing. And I did a whole video on this. Go watch it. This is exactly what I tell my customers. I say, okay, let's talk about cash. You spend $30,000 on solar and batteries. And it takes on average with net metering 3 in California, on average, it's 10 to 12 years to break even. You drop your 30 to 40 G's, whatever, you break even. That's not even positive, right? You just got your money back. You threw your money in a pit and you got it back in 12 years. And by then your batteries need to be replaced. So you pay for new batteries. Now your payback is 12 to 15 years. And right, that's payback. That's to break even. That's to get your money back. And only then do you start making a return on your money. What type of investment takes you 15 years just to get your money back? You're not even positive. You're just not negative. So cash, all right, cash is out. So then we have the option of payments. We can make payments to Edison. We can take out a loan and finance our solar and make payments to a bank, or we can make payments to a solar servicing company. And let's talk about it though. Let's look at your situation with Edison. Let's look at your situation with different payment options. And maybe we can find out which one is the best and which one will serve you the best. And from there, that is when I will transition into my NEPQ process of discovery, connecting, and we go into it right there. So I hope that gives you an understanding of how we set up this conversation, the NEPQ appointment, in a way that doesn't trigger resistance and allows you to go into questioning mode and really asking them some serious questions about how they feel and what they think about their situation without triggering resistance or making it a weird dynamic. It feels natural. It just feels like the normal next step. So I'll see you in the next one. We're going into the scripting for the NEPQ process. Peace.